Hi guys, here with your computing lesson for this week. So we've talked about what appropriate online behaviour is, how we keep ourselves safe online, what our online reputation is going to look like as we get older. We're going to look at respecting copyright online. Now, the internet is a wealth of lots of information and lots of different people own that information. So we need to make sure we're respectful of copyright. If you look in the description below, there's a link to a video. What I want you to do, pause me and go and watch this video below and answer the 6 questions that we've got. Once you've done that, come back and we'll go through the answers together. Pause the video here to complete this. Welcome back, guys. How did we get on? Did you manage to answer all 6 questions? I'm going to go through the answers with you now. So our first question, what is copyright? Copyright is a law that gives the owner of a written document, a musical composition, a book, a picture, or any other creative work the right to decide what other people can do with it. The laws make it easier for authors to make money by selling their work, and because of copyright, a work can only be copied if the owner of the copyright gives permission. So, for example, my videos, as brilliant as they are, someone might decide, you know what, I'm going to take this video and I'm going to use it as my own. I'm going to sell it somewhere for people to buy and for them to do their computing lessons from. Now, that would be against my copyright because it's either me or TLAB owns this video. So it means that they can't take that video and make money off it. It also means that if there's someone wanted to borrow my video and use it, they'd have to ask my permission. So it gives me the right to decide what people can and can't do with it. So someone might say, I want to make you look like a complete Wally. I'm going to change the video. I'm going to put a top hat on you while you're doing your lesson. I'm going to say, well, no, I'm not going to do that because it's not going to do my reputation online any good. But if someone turned around and said, you know what, your video is really interesting, it's really useful, I'd like to use it in my classroom, then I probably would say yes. So if you're going to borrow something, make sure you ask nicely and explain what you're going to do with it. So the person that owns the copyrighted content is the creator. So in this instance, it might be me. I could say I've got part of the copyright for this, or the organization that I work for. So in this instance, it'll be our school. So this video is actually owned by our school, and because it's on the school's YouTube channel, we can prove when we put it up there and how the ownership path that we've got for it. So being able to use copyrighted content from the internet, you can ask permission, as we said, and make sure you give credit to the owner. Some materials it's called the public domain. It doesn't have protection under copyright law, so anyone can use it. I know if you look on PowerPoint for the images to put in, it looks for a Creative Commons license. So what that means is it's something that doesn't fall under copyright law, that it's been out in the public domain, it's been released for free use by anybody. And you saw the same in the video. There was the picture of the astronaut who was put on a nice desert beach. Make sure you give credit to the owner. So if you look at our history video for this week, we've credited the owners of the video. We've credited the Jorvik Centre for that particular video that we shared with you. So how to use copyrighted internet from the internet? There's also what's called fair use. So you can take a short piece of it. I could take 30 seconds of a video and put it into one of mine. I could add a new purpose to it. So the video that I shared with you about using copyrighted information off the internet, I could say, actually, I'm going to use it to do something else. So I could change it. I could make it into something new. Then I'm not using the original material and making a profit or making a reputation from it. Use non-fiction works. This is based in facts. You can use copyrighted material to back up your facts, so long as you give credit for where you got that information from. So if you're doing a piece of homework and you found a really nice piece of information, make sure you tell us where you found it, because we might think, not sure that's your words, and we can put it into Google and we'll find it. The final thing to think about, will the new version have an impact on the value of the original? As I said, if someone wanted to take this video and put a top hat on me and have me speaking in a silly voice, it will have an impact on the value of the original because it will make me look silly, and it will mean that the lesson won't have the same value it did when I recorded it the first time. So we've also got ethical reasons to consider. Now, this is a bit of a murky area because what one person might find annoying might be the other person might find it funny. So the image that I keep bringing up in our lessons, the one I shared with me smiling with a nice bottle of chili sauce, that's been shared around the internet. The company that makes the chili sauce could find this image and decide to use it and make a nice new advert. So there you are, Mr. Hill smiling away with a bottle of hot sauce. Now, they've not asked my permission to do this. And I might be thinking, I'm really not sure I don't like this. They're making money off my image and they've not got permission. So I could turn around and ask them, under copyright law, I can prove it's my image. I can prove when I took it. I can prove when I posted it and when I shared it. I've got all of that information. So it's my image and they need to ask permission to use it. So permission. So quite often people are willing to let you share their work if you give them credit for it. And I've already mentioned it, but in your history yesterday, we shared a video from the Jorvik Centre. We asked them really nicely if we could use their video in our work. And they said, yeah, that's absolutely fine. Please make sure you give us credit for it. You tell everybody where to find the video and that you put a link to the actual video itself into your description. We've done all of those things. So we've made sure that we've given them credit for the work. We could have said, you know, we've gone and filmed this, we've got 2 actors in, we've got them fighting and we've got them talking through the weapons. We could have done that, but we would have been devaluing someone else's work and we would have been breaking their copyright. So they could turn around and say to us, well, you can't use our video, which would mean we'd have to take your history lessons down, we'd have to re-record them and do them in a different way. So spotting copyright online. So if you look at the picture on the left, you quite often will see this in images. I've found it before. I found, oh, a really nice image. I'd like to use that. And there's what's called a watermark over the top of it. It stops you being able to copy and paste that photograph without the owner's permission. Also, if you look at web pages, normally if you scroll right down to the bottom, it states who has the copyright and when it was registered. So it's got 2018 on this one, 2010 on our photograph. You've also got copyright in books. So if you go and get one of your favorite books, one of the chapter books ideally, and look at the first 2 or 3 pages before you get to the actual story, you'll find a notice that looks a bit like this. It says the copyright, and then you've got this nice logo with a C in a circle. It gives you a year, tells you who it is, and then it gives you the limitations of what there are with the copyright. So it says without permission, without the prior written permission of the publisher. So if you want to use their material, you have to get written permission. Now, what you'll notice on all of these is there's a year on them, and that's important. Copyrights last in the UK either until the death of the person that wrote it or made that particular item, or 70 years after it was first made public. So in this case, this book we'd be able to use in 2087, because that will have been 70 years after it's been used. So with copyrights, you need to be careful. Make sure you get permission, make sure you give credit, and most importantly, make sure you read any copyright notices that are on material and make sure you follow what they say. Might be well and good ringing them up and saying, can we do this? And them saying, yeah, that's fine. But in here it says without the written permission. So if you took the phone call to mean, yes, I can do it, you make a video, you put their content in, they turn around and you get hit with one of these. A copyright infringement notice, which on YouTube looks a bit like this. So they write to you and they say that you may have content that's owned or licensed by someone else, and it's still available on YouTube, and the adverts that will appear next to it. So on YouTube, you can make money by having the adverts on your content. So we have to be careful that we don't use things that will happen to, but this could happen to you. So make sure you've got the permission, and then you don't get these notices. So your second task, can you find some examples of copyright in your house? Look at the printed material you've got, maybe books and magazines. Look at music, for example, CDs and records, maybe even cassettes. I don't know if your parents may still have those. Can you find out the copyright notice and work out who owns the copyright? So if I show you on here, if we look at the one in the book, which says copyright, it gives us the year, and then it tells us who. So Chandler Bolt, in this case, is the owner of the copyright. If we go back to our previous two images, we've got Christina on the photograph. So we've got the copyright, the logo, the year, the name. The piece I've taken from a web page, copyright, the logo, the year, and then the name. So that's what you're looking for. So it'll say who the copyright, so whether it has got a copyright, what year, and who it belongs to. So look for that. So as I said, have a look. Printed material, books and magazines are a good source. Music, so CDs and records. Have a look online. See if you can find the copyright notice for some online music. See if you can find that. There's a little extra challenge for you. So find the copyright notice and work out who owns it. Good luck. I'll look forward to seeing your work on Tapestry. As always, stay safe, and we'll see you again soon.